welcome the weigh-in special guest, Micah Parsons.
Woo! So what's going on with you guys? From a 1 to 10, how do you rate this card? I'm giving it a 9. I like a lot of the fights.
Assisting us in a special, very special occasion here as we bring out our fighters for the main event, for the weigh-in main event of the evening. All right, fans, here we go. Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for the main event of the evening, brought to you by TGB Promotions, Man Down Promotions, and Showtime. Sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, O'Reilly Auto Parts, and Memory, starring Liam Neeson. All right, fans, here we go. Let's bring out our fighters. First, the WBA World Champion, fighting out of Las Vegas by way of Santiago de Cuba in Cuba. His weight, 27 wins. His record, 27 wins, 4 losses, 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the current defending WBA welterweight champion of the world, 54 Milagros, Yordenis Ugas.
Hey, man, this man can really upset the... This man can really pull off an upset tomorrow, bro. I like Ugas. I'm not saying he's going to win. I'm just saying.
From Dallas, Texas, his record 27-0 with 21 knockouts.
Eastside Cruz missed by 1.5 pounds.
The undefeated IBF and WBC welterweight champion of the world, the truth, Errol Spence Jr.
What up, Angel? You low down. I think Crawford's next, I believe.
And we're ready to bring our fighters to
we'll
the
talk
scale
after the weigh-in.
Once again, this is for the unified welterweight championship of the world.
Hey, take a time out. Like the video. It doesn't take you nothing. Just click the button. Thanks.
First to the scale, in his 4th world title appearance and the 2nd defense of his current title, here is the defending WBA welterweight champion of the world, Yordenis Ugas.
146.8. 146.8.
146 3/4 pounds. 146 3/4 pounds for Yordenis Ugas. And his opponent ready to step onto the scale at this time in his 7th consecutive world title appearance. The reigning WBC and IBF welterweight champion of the world, the truth, Errol Spence Jr. 146 1/4 pounds. 146 1/4 pounds for Errol Spence Jr.
Talk about phenomenal shape. That's phenomenal shape by both of these guys. 146.2. And what was it? 146 for what? 146.8 for Ugas? I don't remember. Was it 146 and a half? Either way, I'm very hyped for this card. Also, the fact that we only have one card to focus on tomorrow night. It's not like we're going to be watching ESPN and The Zone, then Showtime. Only one card to watch tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to talk about Crawford. And we're going to talk about the rest of the card for about the next 45 minutes or so. Half hour. We're going to talk some deep boxing, some deep state boxing. Hardcore shit. The good shit. None of this clickbait crap going on around here. Also, I was supposed to do my video on MTK yesterday. Drug money and boxing. Like nobody knew already. Now all of a sudden everybody want to be like, that's drug money and boxing. Turning their nose up like they ain't still gonna cover these motherfucking fights. Errol Spence's face is skeletal as fuck. Then again, if you really think about it, 147 pounds is little as shit. I'm 6'2".
Micah Parsons in between them.
260. So these some tiny people to me.
Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas for the unified
All right, I'm 270. I'm fat as shit.
Of the world.
All right, let's see if they're going to do some post-weigh-in interviews. They need to bring them back. Come on, bro. How's Gray say?
Errol Spence Jr., want to ask you if you have a few words for your fans here in attendance on the eve of this tremendous unified welterweight championship of the world.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and supporting me. I'm putting on a great show and a great performance. Shout out to my family over there. You already know it's number love. I love you, Dallas. We're going to put on a great show tomorrow. I'm going to put on another great performance. Man down, we had another strap to my belt. Let's go.
Errol Spence Jr., the IBF and WBC welterweight champion of the world.
Ooh, they couldn't give us no interview? Like, that was trash. Well, anyway, let's go back and recap. Let me pull up the card real quick for you guys. I'm going to be here. We're going to be streaming during the main event only. But overall, I'm digging this card. Let me tell you what fights I like. Oh, wait. We might be able to get some interviews. Look. You know what? I want to listen to this. You want to listen to this? Let's listen to this. Might as well, right?
And stack himself Steven Jackson right here to talk about everything we just saw. All right, gentlemen, it's done. Nothing left but the fight, but we do have...
I don't think I want to listen to this unless they get the fighters up there, guys. Well, anyway, let me tell you who the card is. So look, now on YouTube, okay, at 7 p.m. Eastern, and on the regular Showtime page, you're going to get Brandun Lee versus Zachary Ochoa. That's going to be a fun fight. And then you're going to get Radzhab Butaev versus Eimantis. The reason why that fight is important is because right now that's the only mandatory at 147 pounds. So the winner of this, and especially since the WBA is consolidating their belts and allowed this fight to happen, because Ugas was supposed to fight Butaev, and then the winner of that was supposed to fight Stanionis. Ugas was pissed. But now that we're getting Spence versus Ugas, the winner has to fight Butaev Stanionis unless they fight Terrence Crawford. So that's why this fight is going to be important. It's going to be on regular Showtime and on Showtime YouTube. So basically this fight between let me pull your resumes up, Butaev and Stanionis, and I've been covering both of them for a couple of years now, especially Stanionis, Eimantis Stanionis, the Lithuanian. They was getting on me my first Stanionis video because I didn't know how to pronounce his name, but I got it now. Stanionis. You like that? Eimantis Stanionis. Anyway, this is Radzhab. I still fuck up his name. I don't know if it's Radzhab Butaev. 14-0 with 11 KOs, 28 years old. The moniker No Mercy. He beat Jamal James, stopped him in 9. I was never really high on Jamal James as a champion. Now, the Putin fight, the best Putin fight, I got to go back and watch this. I don't remember this fight. What's the scoop? Anybody in the chat, any degenerate out there watch this and can tell me how this went? Well, anyway, here's Stanionis. Stanionis has been fighting on a lot of PBC cards. And you can find his fights on the PBC YouTube page. 27-0 with 13 KOs, 9K with 27-0, 27 years old, 13-0 with 9 KOs. If I'm correct, all of his fights are available online. Luis Collazo, Tomas Delorme, that was a nice solid fight. And then outside of that, Justin Deloach. But overall, nice solid skill set. Radzhab, that's how I know you telling the truth. I can't trust you guys sometimes. Well, anyway, because the WBA has been consolidating their belts, the winner of that is the mandatory for Spence versus Ugas. That is the person who's next. Now, if you look right here before we get to, let's wait until we run back the Spence versus Ugas weigh-in before we talk about the 147-pound division. So let's go back to the card. All right. So that's going to wrap up the Showtime portion, the YouTube portion. It's going to be Brandun Lee versus Zachary Ochoa, and then it's going to be Butaev versus Stanionis. Then the pay-per-view is going to open up with this guy right here, Jose Valenzuela versus Francisco Vargas. Let's go back and recap their weigh-in real quick. Let's see. Is this it? Hold on. I got you. By the way, thanks for watching. Take your time out. Like the video. Subscribe. We're going to be here streaming during the main event tomorrow. If anybody gives a damn.
By DraftKings Sportsbook,
and
O'Reilly Auto Parts, and Memory, starring Liam Neeson.
We get to show brief highlights, too.
Our opening attraction features an exciting showdown in the welterweight division. Welcome our fighters to the stage at this time. First from Riverside.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the fight. We're going to recap the fight. Well, we're going to recap the weigh-in, then talk about the fight. So right now, they're actually doing Crowley and Josesito Lopez opens up the pay-per-view, I'm guessing, right? Yeah, Crowley and... Well, for anyone who wants to see the Butaev weigh-in, let me let this play then. Let this play.
Here is the WBA #1 ranked welterweight in the world, Eimantis Stanionis.
Putin was on the juice.
And his opponent is the defending champion, fighting out of Indio, California, by way of Russia. His record, 14 wins, no losses, 1 no contest, 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Welcome the WBA regular welterweight world champion, Radzhab No Mercy Butaev.
I'm going with the classy one says. If classy Jimmy Lennon says he's... Damn, what did he say again?
And it looks like our fighters are ready to step onto the scale.
What do you call him?
Russia. His record, 14 wins, no losses, 1 no contest, 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Welcome the WBA regular welterweight world champion, Radzhab No Mercy Butaev.
Oh, it's Radzhab. The H is silent. Got it now. Radzhab.
And it looks like our fighters are ready to step onto the scale. 12 rounds of boxing, WBA regular welterweight championship of the world. First, the challenger, a 2016 Olympian undefeated challenger, Eimantis Stanionis.
Stanionis. You got to do that at the end.
146.5 pounds, 146.5 pounds for Eimantis Stanionis.
No, this is the mandatory.
147. Like, he makes it.
Ain't no getting out
easily.
of it. They have to fight the winner of
his
Spence.
opponent is the defending champion, making the first defense of his title, the undefeated WBA welterweight world champion, Radzhab No Mercy Butaev.
Yeah, the winner of this has to fight Spence Ugas, or it has to be Crawford. And the winner of this is going to have to take a step-aside deal and likely be the co-feature again.
146.5 pounds, the same weight as his opponent. Butaev weighs in at 146.5 pounds.
This is a unification of the WBA interim and the WBA world at 147. People really don't believe that the WBA is being forced to consolidate their titles. They have to make just one champion. And if you look at the other divisions, they've been keeping up with it, because they were going to be basically not sanctioned in the United States by the, what is it, the ABC, and it wasn't going to be recognized. They was about to lose millions and millions of dollars, and they're losing millions now because they have to consolidate these belts and not have 4 champions in each division, but they were about to lose all of the money. It was like a big deal. I did a whole video on it. It was big news in boxing. But yes, by the end of, I'm going to say by May of next year, there has to be one champion for the WBA in each division. There's no way around it, unless like special circumstances like this for a unification to take place. And Ugas did a lot of bitching and complaining to get to this point. Like they was like, no, you got to unify this belt. And both of these guys,
ladies and gentlemen, Showtime Championship
probably got a nice solid amount of money.
WBA welterweight championship
from Spence and
world
Ugas
battle
and
of
PBC.
Undefeated. Radzhab Butaev, Eimantis Stanionis.
So it's Radzhab. The H is silent. So the ZH is like one letter and shit.
Well, fans, that concludes the weigh-in for our Showtime Championship boxing portion of our program tomorrow night. Once again, Eastern Time starting at 7 p.m., local Central Time, 6 p.m.
So
And now
So the main card, it actually opens up with Josesito Lopez versus Cody Crowley. That's what the pay-per-view is going to be Josesito Lopez, Cody Crowley, Francisco Vargas, Jose Valenzuela, Isaac Cruz, Gamboa. Isaac Cruz weighed in at 136 and a half, 1.5 pounds over the 135 limit. And then, of course, the main event is going to be Spence Ugas, 74.99 on a Showtime Championship Boxing pay-per-view. Butaev and Stanionis and Brandun Lee and Zachary Ochoa, that's on YouTube and regular Showtime. You can watch that free.
And his opponent is fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada by way of Petersburg, Petersboro, Ontario, Canada. He is undefeated, 20-0 with 9 wins coming by way of knockout.
Is Josesito Lopez a boogeyman? You would think that he would be getting bigger fights. I think he's a boogeyman, bro. Very dangerous fighter. I would pick him to beat Adrian Broner and Conor Ben. No bullshit. Cody Crowley, 20-0. Cody the Crippler. Crowley, the Southpaw, Canadian.
Showtime pay-per-view begins at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's 8 p.m. Central Time. And our fighters are ready to step onto the scale at this time. 21 knockouts in his 49 professional bouts. The battle-ready veteran world contender. Please welcome the Riverside Rocky, Josesito Lopez.
Look at the boogeyman. Everybody's scared of Josesito, the Riverside Rocky.
146.5 pounds, 146.5 pounds for Josesito Lopez.
Remember he broke Josesito Lopez's jaw? I was so happy. With Canelo and Oscar ringside.
The Crippler Cody Crowley.
The Crippler. Man, Josesito Lopez gonna put a boot in his ass. I'm Team Lopez for life.
44.5 pounds for Cody Crowley.
What up, Donnell? I did get your messages, man. I'm gonna respond back later on after this stream, man. A lot going on. Any IBF mandatories for the winner? No, right now, nope. There's no IBF for the only mandatory for 147 is Butaev and Stanionis. Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis are going to be ordered to fight each other sometime soon with the WBC or the IBF. Or is Boots Ennis versus Custio Clayton, is that a final eliminator? Somebody let me know. Oh, Psycho Crazy Eyes. I love Crazy Eyes. That's it. Cody Crowley's finished. That's it, y'all. That's it, guys. That's it.
And there they are, ladies and gentlemen. Welterweights open up our
I'm with Crowley. I jinxed him. I'm with Lopez.
The Riverside Rocky versus the Crippler Cody Crowley, 10 rounds.
What up, Brando? No problem.
In the ring.
He did break Victor Ortiz's jaw. That's what I said, didn't I? I said Lopez? My bad. Well, anyway.
Taking place tomorrow night at AT&T Stadium.
I've been token. 420 early. You want to see what I got?
Special attraction. Please welcome to the stage from Mexico City, La Ciudad
Check this
de
out.
Mexico. With a record of 27 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws, he has 19 wins coming by way of knockout. He's the former WBC super featherweight champion of the world, Francisco El Bandido.
Can't really see it, but I got some Pineapple Express, some Heal the Burn.
And we invite to the stage at this time, fighting out of Seattle,
I wish the colors would pop.
Sinaloa,
I got some Scarlet Fire #7.
His record 11-0 with 7 knockouts. Here's the undefeated Jose
Can't really see it.
Valenzuela.
Well, anyway, we're going to be enjoying the fights tomorrow night. That's for sure. Here with you guys. What do you guys know? I don't smoke. Like, I'm vaping now, full time. Nah, no smoke for me anymore, guys. East Street's old school.
10 rounds of boxing.
I'm at new
For
school.
the WBC Continental America's Lightweight Championship, weight limit on this fight is 135 pounds. Here is the former Olympian,
Super silver tie,
WBC Super Featherweight
number
World
15.
Champion Francisco El Bandido Vargas.
Not much of that left. Yeah, I can't smoke no more. I got my lungs are shit, man. No way. No way. You think I want to deal with this shit again? No way. No way, bro. No way. No way.
134.5 pounds. 134.5 pounds for Francisco Vargas.
I was pissed. Oh, don't be surprised if he get cut, Francisco Vargas.
Jose El Ray Valenzuela.
So what y'all know about this Jose Venezuela guy? I don't know too much. I know I had to see him fight before, or had him at least on the TV, but I never really sat down and watched his fights.
134 3/4 pounds. 134 3/4 pounds for Jose Valenzuela.
I never really got a chance. And what division is he? He is 11-0 with 7 KOs. Fighting at 135. Let's see if he's ranked. Where's he at? So that's basically a PBC 135 guy. I guess they would build him up to eventually fight Cryz, somebody. Who knows? Currently, he is not ranked anywhere at 135. But I'm guessing him fighting, if he beats Francisco Vargas, former champion, he would end up getting a ranking at 135. Yeah, he's currently not ranked anywhere right now. My bad. Have I seen him fight before? I had to, right? Let me see what his last fight was. What car? He fought Austin Dulé. I had to see that.
And there they are, ladies and gentlemen. 10 rounds for the WBC Continental America's Lightweight Championship. Jose El Rayo Valenzuela versus Francisco El Bandido Vargas.
I did watch this this card.
Country of Mexico. This will be a great battle tomorrow night, live on Showtime pay-per-view.
He fought on PBC on Fox December of last year.
Well, fans,
against
Boxing Champions continues with our
Austin Dulé.
Weigh-in 10-round lightweight special attraction. Welcome our fighters to the stage at this time. First, fighting out of Miami by way of Guantanamo, Cuba. His record 30 wins, 4 losses, 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the former
he dropped TO in sparring.
World,
that sounds pretty seductive.
Yuriorkis Gamboa.
Now, I'm on the fence. How do you guys feel about this fight, man? I just think that Gamboa too old. It don't mean nothing no more fighting Gamboa, you know?
And his opponent joining us to the stage from Mexico City, La Ciudad de Mexico. 22-2-1, 15 knockouts. He's the current WBC and WBO number 4 light.
Now I hope this is not bigotry. I hope this is not bigotry what I'm about to say, but when you Cuban, right, and you defect, I always add like 2 to 5 years onto your age. So he, hold on. We'll talk after the weigh-in.
Guantanamo, Yuriorkis Gamboa.
So Gamboa is listed at 40 years old.
134 1/4 pounds. 134 1/4 pounds for Yuriorkis Gamboa.
Exactly.
And his opponent joining us to the scale.
Exactly, West Side.
The exciting former world title challenger, the number 4 lightweight in the world, Pitbull Cryz. Cryz, official first attempt at a weigh-in is 136.5 pounds. 136.5 pounds. The weight limit on this fight is 130.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Gamboa probably like at least 44, 43, 44, and you know, El Cubano years. You know, in American years, Luis Ortiz is listed at 43 years old. So which means in Cubano years, he like 50 now. I was at his 38th birthday party. No bullshit. Don't ask me how I got there. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, this motherfucker ain't no 38. I was like, this nigga is not 38. I was trying not to laugh as I was looking at him. I'm like, this motherfucker ain't no 38. And this was like in 2017. I was like, bro. That is true. You never see a Cuban boxer with no gray, with no beard. Did you notice that? The older they get, they go clean, smooth face because they don't want you to know their age. That's the scam. That's the scam. They don't want you to know their real age.
And there they are, ladies and gentlemen, the lightweight special attraction, 10 rounds of boxing, the co-main event of the evening. Isaac Pitbull Cruz, Yuriorkis Gamboa.
Oh no! See, here's the thing. I like to fight because I want to see Gamboa get beat up, especially.
Well, fans, before we bring out our fighters for the main event of the evening at this time, we'd like to welcome a special guest joining us and bring him onto the stage at this time. The Dallas Cowboys pick from Penn State. He set the rookie sack record, named the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. Please welcome the weigh-in special guest, Micah Parsons.
I'm going to check right now on our social media to see if Isaac made that weight. Because this was about maybe 30 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. We'll see what you're doing. I know they have
Micah
like 2 hours,
Parsons assisting us in a special, very special occasion here as we bring out our fighters for the main event, for the weigh-in main event of the evening. All right, fans, here we go. Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for the main event of the evening, brought to you by TGB Promotions, Man Down Promotions, and Showtime. Sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, O'Reilly Auto Parts, and Memory, starring Liam Neeson. All right, fans, here we go. Let's bring out our fighters. First, the WBA World Champion, fighting out of Las Vegas by way of Santiago de Cuba in Cuba. His weight, 27 wins. His record, 27 wins, 4 losses, 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the current defending WBA welterweight champion of the world, 54 Milagros, Yordenis Ugas. And now, ladies and gentlemen, on to the stage at this time from Dallas, Texas. His record 27-0 with 21 knockouts. A true star of boxing today. The undefeated IBF and WBC welterweight champion of the world, The Truth, Errol Spence Jr.
Nakatani would beat Sonny. I did watch the fight. I just didn't do a video on Junto Nakatani. Yo, I don't never want to get alopecia, man. I'd be a funny looking motherfucker.
Welterweight championship of the world. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled. Weight limit on this fight is a very strict 147 pounds. First to the scale in his 4th world title appearance and the 2nd defense of his current title. Here is the defending WBA welterweight champion of the world, Yordenis Ugas.
146.8. 146.8.
146 3/4 pounds. 146 3/4 pounds for Yordenis Ugas. And his opponent ready to step onto the scale at this time in his 7th consecutive world title appearance. The reigning WBC and IBF welterweight champion of the world, The Truth, Errol Spence Jr.
I thought this was impressive right here, 146.2.
146 1/4 pounds. 146 1/4 pounds for Errol Spence Jr.
Well, I was always taught in North Philadelphia to never let nobody walk up on you, like, ever. So Chris Rock fucked up for that. You can't get smacked if nobody don't walk up on you. I mean, you got to think, right? A lot is riding on this fight. Spencer's got to look good. because there's that, you know, old rumors going around. People think he, you know, like got too many miles on him because of the accident, the torn eye, the hard partying he's been doing. But this is the first time, in my opinion, that he's fighting an actual full-fledged boxer. Oh, and then, by the way, Ugas beat Pacquiao with one arm. Remember, Thurman wasn't supposed to lose to Pacquiao. Spence wasn't supposed to get into the accident and then have a torn eye. Ugas definitely wasn't supposed to be the guy to beat Pacquiao. So it's been a lot of things that's been going on. And me personally, with the way things are right now, I really believe that we are going to see Spence and Crawford. And yes, it should be Spence Crawford. He'll have the 3 belts. He's the financial A side, not by much. Well, you know, by enough. It's not like Spence is the biggest pay-per-view star himself, you know. I'm interested in what these buyers are going to do because it seems like it's no real buzz, like casual buzz.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Cowboy great Micah Parsons in between them. Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas for the Unified Welterweight Championship of the World. Errol Spence Jr., want to ask you if you have a few words for your fans here in attendance on the eve of this tremendous Unified Welterweight Championship of the World.
Most definitely.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and supporting me. I'm putting on a great show and a great performance. Shout out to my family over there. You already know it, number love. I love you, Dallas. We're going to put on a great show tomorrow. I'm going to put on another great performance. Man down, we had another strap to my belt. Let's go.
Errol Spence Jr., the IBF and WBC welterweight champion of the world.
Looking at his resume, let me see if they was able to get an interview from Errol Spence. They did some post weigh-in stuff. Trying to see if they got a chance to talk to him on this joint right here. Nope, they didn't get him on the stage. Nope. So when you really think about it and looking at the resume of Errol Spence, right? Who on here do you think that this Ugas, this version of Yordenis Ugas the last few years, who on here do you think he can't beat? If you were to put Yordenis Ugas in the ring with Kell Brook right now, the Kell Brook that fought Amir Khan, could Yordenis Ugas beat him? I think so. Lamont Peterson, I think that Ugas could have outboxed Lamont Peterson, maybe had some issues, depending on what Lamont Peterson showed up, because you had the Lamont Peterson that was the pressure fighter power puncher. Then you had the Lamont Peterson that like to move around and shit. You never knew which one was going to show up. Mikey Garcia, I think that he would be able to box around Mikey Garcia. The Sean Porter fight, well, they both fought. A lot of people felt that Ugas may have won that fight, but he just didn't do enough to beat the champion. You see what I'm saying? And then Danny Garcia, well, let's be honest. Danny Garcia is kind of a typecast fighter to where if you're a boxer mover, you know, with some skills, you can beat Danny Garcia. You know, you just don't want to stay in the pocket with him. So when you think about it, Ugas is a different type of style that he's seen before. A guy that's going to be a technician and is going to try to box. But you have to also factor in Ugas has tasted defeat before 4 times. 35 years old, he's Cuban. So listen, we got to put the 2 to 5 year Cubano rule on him. So he's listed at 35. He might be 37. Maybe he didn't really go too far with lying on his application over here or his birth certificate. But either way, see the Pacquiao win. Let me tell you something. I understand that when Spence fought Pacquiao, I mean, if Spence was to fight Pacquiao, it was going to be a passing of the torch. Spence was going into that fight, you know, he was supposed to be winning. Remember, before Spence got into the accident, we were like, yo, there's no way he would never fight Manny Pacquiao. But the fight was going to happen. But Pacquiao, long in the tooth, he old. Yordenis Ugas did have some issues with Abel Ramos. Mike Dallas Jr., he shouldn't have been fighting him at all. I don't even know where the hell they pulled Mike Dallas Jr. from at that point. I was disappointed. And Omar Figueroa, let's just say, after that disappointing loss he had to Sean Porter, he came in and completely dismantled, put a boot in it. Look, 119, 107. I'm talking about he completely dismantled Omar Figueroa. But can he beat Errol Spence? 12-round fight on the cards. I don't see him knocking him out. You know, I can see Ugas getting dropped. But then if you look at Errol Spence, he ain't really been able to really do nothing. I mean, well, he did drop Porter in round number 11. Mikey Garcia was a smaller fighter. You know, he just boxed circles around him. There was certain times I was watching that fight, I was just like, bro, please turn it up. Get Mikey out of there. I really thought that if he would have went to another gear, he could have probably got Mikey out of there. Made Lamont Peterson quit. Broke Kell Brook's face. But can he drop Ugas? I think so. Can he stop him? I'm not sure. Very tough fight. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say right now that I do feel that even though Errol Spence has the belt, like if this was 3-4 years ago, I would have picked Errol Spence to beat Terrence Crawford. Right now, I don't feel so confident. Like, this dude is special, like good special. And it's kind of like when Antonio Tarver was chasing Roy Jones around. You know, it was like, you know, like this is a guy that wants to fight and been wanting it, and he's so confident that he's going to win. I don't know, bro. I mean, yeah, the resume, you know, but if you look at the resume issues, right, it's mostly because he hasn't been with PBC. And Al Heyman and PBC, you know, why would they try to look for a fight outside of their organization or outside of their bubble when they got all these good fights they could have made within? And Errol Spence has been saying that, even though I didn't agree with it, but still their logic made sense. Like, look, we got the belts over here. Let me collect these belts, and then we're going to come over there. I mean, not come over there. We're going to, you know, fight that guy over there. But now Terrence Crawford's a free agent. 38-0 with 29 KOs, 34 years old. Sean Porter stopped him in 10. Kell Brook knocked him out in 10. Kavalauskas, even though he got wasn't that supposed to be a knockdown or rock? Well, anyway, either way, stopped him in 9. Amir Khan just shouldn't have been in there. Jose Benavidez, that was a very, very good fight at the beginning, but look, stopped him. Jeff Horn, Julius Ndongo, Felix Diaz, I was at this fight. John Molina, Fat John Molina, you know, Victor Postol, his first pay-per-view performance, he danced around. Remember, he fought Victor Postol very, very cautiously. Like, he was moving around a lot during that fight. But dude is special, man. And right now, like, you know, I guess let's see how things look tomorrow night after the pay-per-view. Let's see how things look tomorrow night. Errol Spence is not just fighting for that belt. He's got to look good because people have questions, you know, and Errol Spence, he watches all the YouTube videos and the interviews and reads the social media posts. He said it. So I want to pull up this clip. My chat's still fucked up. I want to pull up this clip over here with Errol Spence on the Last Stand podcast. And why it grinded my gears. Let me get my timestamp. Hold on. Gotta get my little boxing notebook. I keep my timestamps in here. Let me see. You can't really see them. My little timestamps. Oh, they already edited it up. Okay, here it is right here. Listen to this and let's talk about it. Because I was kind of pissed off at this answer, especially how, you know, Errol Spence knows how things can get when boxers say certain shit.
One thing that I know about you, and you've always told me this, is that you want to be, especially in this era, the 4-belt era, you want to be the first undisputed welterweight champion of the world. You've always told me that. That means you would have to beat Ugas, get that belt. And you know that also means that you would have to get the other belt, and that's the belt that belongs to Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
Now that he's broken away with Top Rank, do you think that's an easier fight to be made in that it's a fight that we'll see probably at the end of the year?
It should be. I mean, it's something that, you know, that I'm definitely looking forward to, and it's something that you know, I'm willing to work towards to it. And, you know, after I get past Ugas, you know, it could be an easy fight to make. You know, it just depends on, you know, stipulations between me and him. You know, I'll bend, but I'm not gonna break. You know, I'll take off my coat, but I'm not gonna give it to you. So, I mean, I think, you know, it could happen, and I'm looking forward for that fight. I think it's a legacy fight for him and myself, and it's a great fight. I think, you know, it's really what the people want. The people want that fight. You know, that's a fight that they really want, and I think, you know, it can happen.
I know you once said, hey, look, if we fight, it's going to be either 70-30, 80-20. Was that?
Man, I was when
Is
I
that
said
posturing or what was that?
When did I say that?
You know, that was.
Yeah, I said it on my girl Instagram,
Yeah.
but I was playing. Hey, man, ain't nobody taking no 80-20, 70-30. Yeah, I was playing. I was like, because I was like, it's gonna be 60-40, and I was like, yeah, he keep playing crazy. It's gonna be 70-30 or 80-20.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was playing. Like I was serious about that, man.
Okay.
Like people can't take jokes, man. Like
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hear me out. We're not going to just act like that wasn't a whole narrative for like 2 years. And you had people doing videos all day, every day, and all on social media. And now all of a sudden he just playing. I get that. But at the same time, people were really running with that, bro. People were really running with it. You know, and it took him this long to clean it up. I mean, I like Errol Spence, man. And he is the A side at this point in time, but his hands are not clean in this situation. You can't just, like, man, I just was playing. Like, bro, in boxing, people be living off these boxers' words and these fighters' words. It's like, well, he said it 80-20. And then motherfuckers start looking at Crawford. Well, Crawford didn't do the numbers that he do. Why wouldn't he make 80-20? Almost like, kind of like, you know, back when Mayweather-Pacquiao, when they were saying Pacquiao should have just took the flat fee, whatever it was, some old bullshit amount of money. Like, come on, man. All of a sudden, nah, he just was playing. But either way, so here's what's supposed to happen. And you know what? Let me pull up this clip of Keith Thurman real quick before we go, because Keith Thurman shouldn't have lost to Manny Pacquiao. And in the PBC grand scheme of things, Keith Thurman got the Manny Pacquiao fight, and the torch was supposed to be passed to him, and he lost. He lost. No, it's not. I'm not saying, you know, what I'm saying is in this sport, in this day and age, bro, you don't, as a boxer, you don't say shit like that and expect for fans not to take you seriously. Come on, like, we know in the landscape of boxing today, you say something like that, fans are going to take you seriously. You know, now, and the way it made him look is like, oh, 80-20, he don't really want to fight. You see how that was damaging? Like, I mean, but hey, you know, whatever. Let me pull up this clip of Keith Thurman real quick. Because if the Crawford fight doesn't happen, you still got that Keith Thurman fight out there, which I can't say I really want. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it. But it's like, bro, they need to make this Crawford fight. And from everything we've been hearing, it looks like they really want to make it. Like, I really believe that it's going to be next. Because you have too many fighters now. I mean, not fighters. You have not only Thurman, you know, all of a sudden, like, really trying to, you know, get the fire going for a fight for himself. But you also have Derek James, the trainer of Errol Spence. Errol Spence saying, look, like, is next. Like, that's the fight we want next. We get all 3 belts. You know, that's where we want to go. And you haven't really been hearing that type of energy from them before like that. You know, they were always on some deflecting type of shit, to where now it's like, yo, I really think it's possible that it's going to happen. Where's this doggone clip at? Hold on. I'm trying to find this clip of Thurman. But he's got to get past Ugas first. And I rate Ugas very highly. Like, very, very highly. We only got a few minutes left. Here it is. Let's listen to this from the PBC page.
If Ugas and Spence are to fight, it's frustrating because one of the only reasons why any of that has manifested was because Thurman has lost to Manny Pacquiao back in the summer of 2019. None of this would be able to manifest with a victory over Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao comes back, loses to Ugas, last minute replacement, but it wasn't a good fight stylistically. Ugas is a very big welterweight. He had that long reach. He's a Cuban fighter. Stylistically, it wasn't a good matchup, but Manny wanted to put on a show like he always does for the fans, and he stepped away from the sport of boxing. Salute to him and all that he was able to do for his country, for his people, and for the sport. But now Ugas is in a better position, holding on.
Hey, take your time out, like the video if you haven't, subscribe. Tomorrow night for the main event, the only YouTube channel to actually do so, we actually show brief highlights in between rounds. So basically during Spence Ugas main event, we're going to be live streaming on the channel for those who want to come and join in and watch. And of course, I'm going to be covering and doing videos throughout the day on boxing. So thanks for watching the video, and check your time out. Please like the video, subscribe.
On to the WBA title that I once had. Getting a fight with Spence, which should be my fight. So that's why it's very important for Thurman to come back this year. It's very important for me to come back strong so that I can make a statement and show them that with the belt, without the belt, I'm one of the greatest welterweights in the welterweight division today.
Yeah, we'll be here for the main event, and then we'll also be here for the post-fight press conference. We pretty much do post-fight press conferences for every pay-per-view. Thurman, it's going to be interesting to see who he fights next. There's some names circulating around, but I really don't believe them. I wonder if maybe we can get, what if we get, let's say in a perfect world, we get, and I'm talking about something realistic. We get Spence versus Crawford, and then sometime that week or week after, you know, depending to keep them on the same schedule, you get Thurman versus Butaev Stanionis winner. And then that winner will be the mandatory for Spence versus Crawford. And of course, I guess you have to think that Spence versus Crawford is going to be a 2-fight deal, right? Either way, there's some options there, but right now, Thurman is right. He shouldn't have lost to Manny Pacquiao. You know, none of this would have manifested if he would have lost to Manny Pacquiao. Simple as that. You know, and he needs to start taking boxing more seriously and being active. Because right now, he fought in February against Mario Barrios. Okay, great, solid performance. He did get punched in the stomach. Pulled his mouthpiece out, put it in his hand. That's concerning. He's got a jelly belly now. You know, but overall, you know, he's got to get another fight. And what I'm scared of is that his next fight is going to be pay-per-view again. Like, bro, they got to get this shit together, man. Like, this pay-per-view shit is getting old. And I'm even more pissed that next week we got to pay for, I know you guys ain't paying for it, degenerates, but I got to pay for fucking Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, $70. So $75 tonight, $70 next Saturday. May the 7th, Canelo versus Bivol, that's $60 plus the 20 or whatever I'm paying a month for the zone. And then May the 28th, Tank versus Crowley. I'm about to move somewhere where boxing is not available on TV nowhere, so I can use my VPN and just bootleg everything, not give them no money. I'm getting tired of them, man. They're going to the well. Thanks, LA, Oklahoma. That's, oh, Little Africa, Oklahoma. Okay, gotcha. I see. Yeah, man. So I'm about to fix up my computer and shit, start doing some food prepping. I will be here covering the Conor Ben card tomorrow. And then, of course, I'm going to be covering this card tomorrow night. So thanks for watching. Take your time out. Like the video. Subscribe. Remember, so basically, it's going to be popping tomorrow. We're going to be doing a lot of videos, and Sunday is going to be lit. You know, but what if Spence lose? Oh, my gosh. It's going to be on fire on YouTube.